Okay. Make sure I'm recording. Starting in. Oh, by the way, David, we do the music live, so we'll be sitting here awkwardly for a minute.
Fine
Starting
with me.
in.
I'm used to awkward.
Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RPG After Years, your weekly show covering all things RPGs from the past, present, and future. This is episode 43. I'm Scott.
I'm Rich.
And I'm Corey.
No Jay today. He had something come up last minute. Instead, we have a very special guest today to replace him. It's a good friend of ours in the show, a streamer and podcaster. It's Dizzydlo.
Hello, hello.
Glad to have you. And of course, we'll also convene our NieR Automata RPG Club at the end of the episode. But first, Dizzy, David, so glad you're here.
No, thank you guys for having me. I've had the chance to listen quite a bit. I've known you, Mr. Scott, and Corey for a very, very long time, and it's good to be here. So thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do this for a while, and I guess I don't know why all of a sudden was like, let's just go ahead and do it. But
the stars aligned.
We finally made it happen. It's kind of sad that Jay's not here because he was actually the one that wanted to do like a streamer interview, and I was like, I think I might know a guy. There we go.
And then he bails out.
Right? Never have
He's like,
kids.
actually, no, don't want to.
That's fine. So same time next week.
Right,
Yeah, right.
You're the new host. So for those that don't know, Corey used to work with David. They at their same retail job, and that's how we all know each other. But over the years, we've become quite close and friendly.
It's become a beautiful friendship.
Well, oddly enough,
now.
dude, if we could virtually, I absolutely would. I'll just have to raise my hand in the Zoom meeting or something.
There we go. Counts as a
But
hug.
no, thinking back on that job, like some of my best friends came from that job. Like, what,
Yeah.
3 out of the 5 groomsmen in my wedding came from that job. So like,
Yep.
I'm glad. Like thinking back on it, it's now quite fond. Now I have you guys.
Right, and your whole deal started with that podcast, Drunk Destiny, that you do with your best friend Sean, or also known as Dumpy, and you also met him at that job. So,
Yep.
kind of crazy how life works.
Indeed.
So basically, David, he has a podcast, Drunk Destiny. He goes by Dizzy online. Of course, that's a little weird for us to call him that when we've known him IRL for so long, but. He also streams, several times a week and does a lot of Destiny 2 streaming. Destiny 2 is his big thing, but he does like some variety streaming too, and like retro games. He's been playing Mario 64 right now. So once we get to the main discussion later, we'll like dive more into all that ish that Dizzy gets into, and also his wife, the beautiful Mrs. Dizzy. She is the one that did all the artwork for our show.
I was about to say, they might not know what she looks like or talk to her, but they are very familiar with her.
Yeah, and we love that shit. So,
Yes, we do.
as you can see, it's like plastered on everything in this room. So,
Including a shower curtain.
exactly.
Coming soon.
Well, at least I'm wearing one piece of Dizzy merch here. So,
Yeah, for those that are listening to the audio only, we're actually wearing the same shirt right now.
Yeah.
It's so
totally
cute.
unplanned. We match. We're twinsies.
Get a room
No, I
already.
called them last night, and it'd be so woo cute if.
Ooh, woo.
Yeah. But before we get like super intimate with Dizzy, let's do a little catch up here.
I always like to get intimate with Dizzy.
Absolutely. Corey, you're not on the main show often, so we'll let you go first.
All right, little catch up. Pokemon Shield. Rich, you'll be glad to know I actually beat it now.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Give me my little. Yeah, there we go. The only thing I have left to do is, I guess there's a couple like minor things you can do once you do like that final battle, because you go back to the woods and Hop is there, and he's like, "Oh, you want to do one more battle or something like that?" So I still have to do that, but credits rolled. I beat the champion, all that.
Nice.
Are you going to like wait a while before you try out the DLC, or are you just gonna like keep plowing?
I'll probably put a bow on it and then I'll do DLC.
Okay, I think there's a lot of
especially
post-game
just see what
stuff
it's
to
like,
do as well. So,
Yeah, I would definitely give it a try.
Rich, you still haven't finished it, right?
What, the game or the DLC?
The game, the main
I
game.
finished the game.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I finished
Well,
it.
Yeah,
then,
I thought
weeks
y'all
ago.
were just waiting on me.
Yeah,
we
we're waiting on you to do
we
stuff.
need to plan a review then.
Yeah,
I think
There's
I've got
another
it
one.
written. I think I've got it written in the doc
Oh,
already
sweet.
for
Alright.
it.
Been playing some Ori and the Blind Forest. Fun little platformer, beautiful game. Really liked it. We plowed through Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope. It was really cool. The Dark Pictures Anthology, if you've not tried it before, definitely look into it. Those are really cool games. Pretty
We
short.
beat it.
Yeah, we beat it.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was better than Man of Medan, the first one, by quite a bit.
Yeah, Little Hope was definitely
Still nowhere near like Until Dawn or anything, but it was. I liked it a lot.
yeah, fun little game. Of course, been playing a bunch of NieR Automata. Got to the checkpoint and stopped. Been really enjoying that game so far. Really into that one. And then we have been playing Life is Strange 2. There's 5 episodes. We started episode 4 last night. Got like an hour and a half, 2 hours into that episode. But that's been a fantastic little game to play through as well. And that's
Yeah, it really stands up to the first one.
It really does.
It's a lot better than that prequel that they came out with a year or two ago. Whatever that
God,
was.
Yeah, they definitely polished the first one up for this.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Rich?
Well, I sprinkled in a little bit of Destiny 2, a little bit of Days Gone.
How was
It's actually
Days Gone?
It's pretty fun. I mean, a lot of stealth, getting away from all those freakers. What do they call them? They call those that the zombies freakers. So I get a feel of Far Cry mixed with Last of Us.
Interesting.
Kind of a
Yeah,
feel
I've heard
to
good
it.
things. Actually, David Lou, the girl who does mine and Corey's hair, but also good friends with David and Mrs. Dizzy, she apparently loves Days Gone. Like she's like every time we go and get her haircut, she's like, "Have you played it yet?" We're like, "No."
It's
All right, we're
free,
gonna have
you
to
might
fire
as
that
well.
game up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and she's been playing a lot of Last of Us, I know, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely had at least one session of haircuts where it was just like that's all we talked about the entire session.
Yeah,
We were
it's
all
not
just
bad.
jerking that game off the whole time.
Yeah. And Rich is our Destiny guy, so I was telling him earlier this week, like, dude, you have to be at the episode. So
Yep. We had almost had an issue, but then it's fine. So then I started playing Kingdom Hearts. Picked up Kingdom Hearts 2 again. So I'm like pretty far into that.
why two?
Still,
Just randomly.
well, I finished one already. Finished one
Ah.
this year. Remember?
Did you watch the cutscenes from Chain of Memories?
No. Apparently, I'm stupid and need to do that. 'cause
Yes, you
I don't
do.
know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Nomura decided just to screw with my brain.
You can't skip the side games in that series. They're all important to the play.
Yeah. Yep. I need to go back. So stay tuned for that one. NieR. Yeah.
We'll talk about that more later.
Yeah. Yeah. And Spider-Man, the first one.
First one, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
where
I'm
are
still
you in
playing that one. I just trying to think what happened with that one. I went to save the CEO of Oscorp. I saved that guy, and I think I was getting ready to go talk to Dr. Octavius about a few things, and that was where I'm at. I know I've still got a pretty good ways to go. I think about 60% done with the game.
Okay. I was about to say, I know that's not like early, but I don't think it's like towards the end either.
No.
Did you ever
liking it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I
we'll
think
have to do
I even
some.
like it better than the new one, to be honest. But they're both good. Did you guys ever make it any farther in that, David? I know you and Rachel started it at one point.
Oddly enough, we played about to where Rich is. So we got to the mission where we were trying to save CEO of Oscorp, but then when we were playing that, our power went out. That was the last time we played that game, so I don't even know if it's saved properly. So we haven't finished it though, yeah, because we started playing through that, and then Super Mario 3D All Stars came out, and then we jumped into that straight away. Yeah,
Priorities.
Yes.
So I got to say, the sneaking around piece of it, I enjoy sneaking around and webbing people up. That's always fun. I enjoy that part.
Try to stay stealthy as long as possible.
I don't want to fight
how we
anybody.
do it too.
Yeah. So that's it. That's basically all I've been playing.
That's actually quite a bit for you. But...
I know, right? It's ridiculous.
So I'll go next. We've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles. Picked that back up for a little bit. I have done every side quest that I can feasibly do before going on to like the final area. So next time we play, we probably won't finish it, but like we're heading towards the end game there.
Of Xenoblade?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many hours are you into that game?
A shit ton.
A little over 100, I think.
I think you should need to quit the gym and start playing more games.
There you go. But to be fair, we've been playing it for quite a long time now, like slowly over time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Rich, I can't remember. Did I say last time we did this if I beat Grandia or not?
No, I think you just beat it, or you're getting ready to last week.
Okay, well, I beat Grandia.
Yay!
And I did like my own like second opinion bonus review on that. And so I actually brought y'all's score down on it. So
What? How dare you?
But I still like it a
Chat
lot.
all over it.
Yeah. I liked it better than the second one.
Well, I disagree with you there, sir. I like the second one quite a bit more, but I still think the first one's a good game too.
We need to play the third one and see what the whole hype is about that one.
Eventually. Isn't it supposed to be by far the worst? Despite being the newest.
Yep.
Anyway, so after watching Corey beat Pokemon Shield, for some reason the Pokemon bug got in me. I never thought that I would do this, but I started a file in Pokemon Sword. So I'm very early on. I haven't even done like the first gym or anything like that yet. I picked Sobble. That's what I would have picked anyway, but Corey picked Scorbunny, so it's like, well, fuck you.
Yep.
I don't know how long it'll take me to get through that. I'm not like huge on Pokemon anymore. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, the bug got in me somehow watching Corey play. I actually picked up Link's Awakening again. You know, I already beat that a long time ago. I think that was like a review we did towards the end of the Golden Years run. But they had that bonus chamber dungeon mode where you like create dungeons and then complete them. And for some reason, I could never like complete the last one because I didn't have enough money to buy like the different dungeon rooms. And so I finally picked that up Friday night and did that. And so Link's Awakening is completely off the table now. It's been on my Elise list forever.
Yeah.
Good.
Corey already mentioned Ori and the Blind Forest and Life is Strange 2 and NieR Automata. We also started The World Ends With You. We'll get there. We decided to go ahead and start that because, you know, they had that news story with the sequel finally being announced. So I wanted to make sure that like Corey was familiar with it before that comes out. And that's also our top news story. So we'll get there in a minute. We played Blair Witch with Lauren last night a little bit. Actually, Corey played it because I was too drunk to really figure out the controls.
Is that a PlayStation 4 game?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. I've been trying to get my hands on a bunch of horror games lately, so that's gonna be on my list.
I don't love it, but Lauren keeps saying that it's going to get better as we go on. So
how do you know? You were drunk.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like nothing really happens. Like, yeah, every now and then, like a crazy demon creature comes after you, but it's like you hardly even see them, and they're easy to take out. But
Would it be better
oh,
as a VR game? You think?
actually, probably yeah.
It would be
Okay.
terrifying
If
as
you
a
like
VR
VR,
I don't like VR. I don't want to shit my pants the entire time.
right? And then finally, we did beat Spider-Man Miles Morales, which was a very good game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like I said, I liked the first one better just because I felt like the story was more impactful and expanded upon. But this was like a really good, like almost felt like a good expansion. And the new abilities they added to Miles himself is like really makes it fun to play.
A lot of people said that it was an expansion. It felt like an expansion of the first game.
Well, if you just
So-
do the story, you can get through it in like 3, 4, 6 hours.
Huh.
So
Did they change
seriously?
in this version? Did they change the Peter Parker character like they did the remaster? Is it
yeah,
the same
he looks
one?
like he looks like a fucking kid now.
I don't like that. I like the original one.
I'm not going to complain too much because in motion it doesn't look as bad as I thought it was. It's just really
okay.
weird after being used to the older how he looked in the original version.
And you don't see him a whole lot anyway.
That's true.
He only pops
True.
up like a couple times.
Yeah. So David, I know you've been playing a lot of Destiny too. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. Well, before that, question for the Miles Morales. How was that graphically, like from start to finish? Attaboy.
It was beautiful. I mean, you can definitely, even if you like just play the remastered version and you put them side by side with the PS4, it's like I was surprised by how much better it looks. This is still like the smallest jump graphically we've ever had as far as like from generation to generation, but like it looks great. Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
really
I
cool
was
with
curious.
they took there's no loading screen time now, so
Oh yeah.
they had to make sure that everything like was super smooth, and they did a good job with that.
Yeah, you can even like when you go inside buildings and leave them and shit, it's still like no loading. It's fucking awesome.
I mean,
Nice.
that's probably one of the better quality of life adjustments for the PS5, right?
Absolutely.
So I haven't gotten my hands on one. So
I'm
living
literally having my
vicariously
hands on
through
right.
others.
I have my hand on one right now.
Oh, well, good for you.
Mitch and I were very lucky and managed to
Yes.
snag one in those like opening waves of releases before all the scalpers jumped on it.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Game scalpers.
Yeah. All right. So, so I've actually been playing, who would have thought, a lot of Destiny 2. Been playing a lot of, mostly Destiny 2 on stream lately, and played a lot of the new expansion, done a lot of raiding in Destiny.
Beyond Light, right?
Yeah, Beyond Light. Had the chance to Sherpa a lot of people through the raid, kind of new people who are unfamiliar with it, and that's been a lot of fun with a bunch of friends. Oddly enough, I've been playing a lot of golf with your friends the last couple of weeks. If anyone knows what that is, it's just a little arcade Steam game. It's basically like a putt-putt game on Steam, and it's one of the most maddening things ever because there's like obstacles, but they're like bombs and like things that like blow you off the map. It's actually really fun.
Sounds
but
fun.
incredibly, yeah, it's very fun. It's just very like as frustrating as you think it might be. It's more. So it's a fun like little arcade, kind of like an Among Us game. Not just a fun.
We should hop on and
arcade-style
play
game.
something like that sometime.
We should totally. I've been playing a little bit of Among Us with friends, and then the last couple of I guess since it came out, I've been playing some Hyrule Warriors. Enjoyed that. I haven't played that as much as I'd like. Me and Miss Dizzy, we're probably about 8 hours into it. But it's fun mechanics.
That's further than us.
All right. So technically, we're about, I guess, 5 hours into it because Miss Dizzy and our roommate Connor started it, and then I was like, "Why'd you start it without me?" So then we went back and replayed a little bit. I've been enjoying Hyrule. I don't think I've played it enough to really get a good grasp on the entire game yet, but it's incredibly fun. Would recommend for just the fun factor. And
We
then I've
played
also been playing
the demo, and we were like kind of on the fence just because we really didn't like how the original Hyrule Warriors played. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, and it's still like we're not in love with the gameplay, but just the fact that it's canon and is like, connected to Breath of the Wild in particular, it's like, okay, you got us. So we bought it. We just haven't like picked it back up yet.
Yeah, well, it's really cool to see the story and the characters like be playable and kind of integrate that into the actual like real world of the game. Just like that is really cool. There's not a whole lot of games that do a backwards flash and then you get to play as the people that you interact with in the original game. So I enjoy that. The battle mechanics are okay. They're not my favorite, but you get used to really really quickly. And there's a couple of like combo moves and stuff you can do with different heroes that are a ton of fun. I'm
looking forward to getting to play as the champions. I think that's where the demo stops, is right before you go and recruit them.
Yep. So yeah, those guys are fun. And then I've been playing a little bit of Genshin Impact, not as much as I was about a month ago. But Genshin for me has been one of those games that it's kind of a pick up and play and kind of just for enjoyment because it's so laid back and lackadaisical. It's like an unwinding game for me. I haven't been doing a ton of like grinding to get to end game content to play with a bunch of people and get all my resources, and like it's just been a fun game. So yeah,
that's another sad reason that Jay's not here is he actually has picked up Genshin Impact as well, and so I was looking forward to you guys being able to talk about that a little bit. But say lovey.
Dang it, Jay.
And I know you've been playing Mario 64 on stream as well.
Oh, yep, good call on that one. I have. Yeah, so I guess this last week was the first time I picked it up since the new expansion of Destiny came out. But yeah, in Mario 64, we were playing Mario Sunshine as well, but that one kind of fuddled off.
Yeah.
Last couple of weeks. I haven't played that one recently.
We haven't had the misses on stream, so...
I know, but yeah, no, I like playing those kind of older, SNES and 64 games just because like it's a complete breath of fresh air from what I normally play, which is like, MMO action shooters type thing, and no, I need to play that more throughout the week on my own time just for my own sake.
Retro Day is my favorite day of the week, so.
Oh, it's great. I love it. Yeah.
Is that about it for you?
Oddly enough, besides like I've been playing so much Destiny the last couple of weeks, it's
right. I figured
the fact that I've played looking at my list, I'm like, wow, I've actually played a lot more than I thought I did.
Yeah, so, I was kind of surprised too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Among Us?
It's fine. I think it's a really fun game to play with friends. But I've tried streaming it. It is not my cup of tea to stream. But it's a lot of fun to play if you've got like 8 people that are all very familiar with each other, and like you all kind of like know each other not necessarily personally, but just the people that you're familiar with. It's a lot more fun than just playing with 3 or 4 people and then having randoms fill up the other 6 or 8 people.
Yeah.
It is fun though. It's fun to get on and play for 30, 45 minutes to an hour. But for me, I usually can only play it for about 2 hours a week, and then I'm like, all right, that's enough for me.
Yeah. Jay has been trying to get us to all hop on and play, and I don't want to because I'm bad at get any kind of game where I have to bluff or lie or whatever. It's like I can't do it.
He's just not a good liar. He cannot lie.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for you, Corey.
Yeah, I know,
right? So outside of video games, just real quick, I know California, where Dizzy resides, has gone back into lockdown. How are you dealing with all that shit?
Yep. We're doing okay. We actually we kind of predicted that this would happen a couple of weeks ago, so we started stocking up on essentials so we wouldn't have to go out more frequently. But it's fine. So I think as of midnight last night. So what's today's date? What's today, the 5th? 6. So So midnight on the 6th. We officially went back into like a lockdown state. It was just kind of a stay at home type thing until yesterday, but it's now like essential workers only. Only some businesses can be open in very small certain capacities. So it's fine. We really have been self-quarantining for the last 6 to 8 months anyway. So like us going out and doing things hasn't really changed,
Right.
because we haven't. But
I've heard that the people around there are definitely, like, just in general, not following the rules. So.
Oh yeah, no. There were lots of places down in like West Hollywood, down in like LA proper, downtown, that they were still they were having to like physically close down businesses because they just weren't following the rules. Like you
Right.
would go up on like a Friday night and see like Instagram stories of people being packed in at
Of course.
300-400 people in a bar. It's like, what the hell, guys? Come on. So for us personally, we're doing okay with it. It's still very frustrating knowing that some people just blatantly don't give a shit, but it's we're doing okay by ourselves. Yeah.
Good to hear. Real quick, damn it, Monkey, you are noticed. Thanks for joining us today, man.
Senpai. Hi, buddy.
Okay, so before we before we move on, let's check in with the save state of the podcast. So, guys, the RPG After Years has a Patreon with some absolutely dizzying benefits. Corey,
Ew.
why don't you tell the fine people about it?
Yes, on the Patreon, you get a lot of benefits, including early episode access, so you can listen to the episodes a few days before anybody else. You also don't have to listen to Scott, Rich talk about Anchor anymore because they'll be ad-free. You'll get the bonus aftercast where the guys kind of get together and shoot the shit and just talk about whatever the hell they feel like it. And it's a little more laid back, a little less structured. They kind of take their filters off a little bit more. So you get some juicy little conversations on that. You'll get extra review episodes. Me and Scott do a shit ton of those. You'll also be able to nominate games for the RPG Club, and you get to vote on the game that everybody will play, and plenty more. So to check that out, just go to patreon.com/RPG After Years.
Yeah, and there are additional benefits, like he said, that we don't always call out, but I figured now would be a good time to send out a reminder. If you happen to be on one of the higher tiers, you get an annual gift from the show. So the people that are on that tier, it's December, so look forward to that. We'll be sending those out relatively soon. And also another benefit on one of the higher tiers is podcast interviews. Last week we interviewed Generic Fighter on the show, and he got that because he is on that tier. So we love having the patrons onto the show, doing interviews, and we'd love to have you guys join us. But speaking of going live...
Yes, so Twitch Live at 9 a.m. on Sundays. Usually you can find us, especially right now, we're live at twitch.tv/RPG After Years. So come join us.
You can be part of the show. We had to start a little later today just because the time difference for David. He would have had to be here at 6 a.m. to meet our regular time. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, right.
I mean, you're still up like super early, so big shout out to you on that one.
That's why I didn't feel too bad. Yeah, right. That's why I didn't feel too bad asking you to come on this early, just because I knew you normally stream around that time anyway. So maybe not on Sundays, but
he's an early bird.
You're right. Tell us about the RPG Club, Corey.
All right, so update on the RPG Club. We have our new checkpoint. You have until December 20th to fully complete Route B. So that's when we'll have our next meeting and discuss that part. So again, December 20th, one day after my birthday.
I've heard this section. Yeah, for real. I've heard that this section is really short, actually. I may have fucked up the timing on the checkpoints.
Yeah, apparently it's only supposed to be like a couple hours of playtime.
So
it's okay.
You have plenty of time. So outside of our normal announcements, we got a couple things going on special with the show. So the Video Game Awards, those are happening on December 6th, and we are hosting a survey/betting pool type deal.
That's not happening on the 6th. Today's the 6th.
The 10th. My bad. Thank you.
I was like, oh my God, I need to go vote.
I was like,
yeah.
it's today.
Wait a second.
And so whoever gets the most of those, guesses right, will get some free merch from our merch store, which we'll talk about later. But that's going to be cool. We all voted, or a lot of us have already voted, so get your votes in if you haven't already. But also, we're going to be doing a live reaction stream while that's going on. So that'll be really fun. The community can join in, and we'll just hang out and make fun of the awards, and watch all the reveals and shit live. I think it'll be fun. And then our last announcement, we actually just decided to do this morning, but we're going to do a Secret Santa amongst the hosts here.
Yay!
That's adorable.
So we're gonna exchange gifts, and then whenever whatever episode it is, we decide to do it. But we'll open our gifts live. I thought that would be like a really fun segment. But yeah, I guess that's it for all the announcements. So without further ado, let's move on to the news.
Hear ye, gather round for all your news. Stop your clatter and listen close. Alas, you won't believe your ears. Listen close for the news.
I'll kick us off with our lead story here. So just randomly, Square Enix announced that Nioh, The World Ends With You, will launch for PS4 and Switch in summer of 2021. So I was really hyped about this because I'm a huge fan of the original The World Ends With You on the DS. It's probably my favorite DS game, and I just thought it had like a really incredible story, really fun to play. Of course, that was like, how long ago did that game first come out? I'm gonna Google that real quick, but it's been years. And Square Enix has kept like dropping like hints, or they'll do random countdowns, and it'll just be like, oh, they're doing an anime, or like, oh, it's coming to iOS, like the original game. So we've tried to play the Switch port a while back, but we dropped it because I couldn't get past like the new docked controls. But I'm trying to push through it now that I know the sequel's coming out. Have you ever like even looked at World Ends With You, Rich?
Yes, I've got a copy of it. I just haven't fired it up yet.
You should try it.
Yeah, that's one of the things on my list here to give a whirl and see what happens.
I guess we definitely don't want to load you down with more games.
Yeah, please God, don't do that.
Yeah, I think that's just about all that's interesting about that. There are a couple returning characters, it looks like. Otherwise, it's a new cast. It takes place in Shibuya, and one funny thing that happened is, Persona 5 also takes place in like Tokyo and Shibuya and all that. And so when this trailer dropped, there were a lot of people who were like, "Oh, they copied Persona 5." It's like, no. First of all, Shibuya is a real place. Second of all, the original game came out like 13 years ago or some shit. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I am super excited about that one. But yeah, let's move on.
It is with sad news. Sad news. Saga Frontier Remastered has been announced for PS4 and Switch, PC, and mobile. So all you Saga fans out there, not including me, be looking forward to that in 2021.
Bill probably threw a party when he heard that.
Yeah. Oh my God. I saw that. I about passed out. I was like, God, no. Like, why could we have just had this? Because I had to play that stupid game on my actual PlayStation. So, yeah.
And you hated it, right? Or you really didn't?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I do not like the game. I think
He
it's
was
terrible.
hate playing it.
And that's why Bill was like, you only have to do one character. I'm like, thank God. So I did one. But yeah, I saw that from what I saw, it's all remastered, looks really good. And they'll have a new character, I think is what it was added to it. So be looking for that, guys, on PS4, Switch, PC, and mobile in 2021. That's all I'm going to say about this.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do love that game, so
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were very excited. Oh, one thing that jumped out at me about that, they're using like the AI remastering thing. You know that thing where the modders can like go and do enhance the pre-rendered backgrounds?
Mm-hmm.
They're using that technology on this, which is very annoying because it's like, okay, why can't you do that for the old Final Fantasy games? Like, I don't understand.
Because they are going to do it eventually, but they're just like, no, we'll just wait. You'll wait.
What's the saga? Right.
Just throw up a little bit.
One I'm excited about, Persona 5 Strikers was leaked, and then after the leak, they went ahead and just fully announced it. February 23rd, I think it was the date, just coming off the top of my head. But it looks really cool. It looks like the cast of Persona 5 will be rolling into this game. Not a whole lot, just a little bit of gameplay in the trailer was shown. Looks really cool. And anybody that's listened to the show knows how much I really love Persona 5. So yeah, be looking for that around February.
It's basically Hyrule Warriors, but Persona 5. It's
Right.
like the same company that makes all those games. That game actually came out in Japan already, like a long time ago, and it's like just now getting localized. I don't know what took them so long, but
We'll be getting it.
Atlas is always doing weird shit like that.
So the next one we have is Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and Monster Hunter movie limited time event quest coming December 4th. So by the time this episode comes out, it's already released. So be on the lookout for that if you still play Monster Hunter World. This is the tie into the movie with Mila Jovovich.
Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Miljosevic.
It's
Jovovich.
I'm confused. I didn't even know that this was there was a film coming out.
Yeah,
Really?
there is.
It's,
And of course, it's Capcom, so they've got to bring Mila Jovovich in and her husband to probably do it. So yeah, because they did
the
such a
main girl
bang up
from
job.
the Resident
Resident
Evil
Evil
movie franchise.
Yep.
They did such a bang up job on that.
I'm not sure she's a great actress, but she's fun to look at anyway.
She was pretty damn good in Resident Evil. She fit the role.
I mean, she fit the first two roles. Their first two movies, fine, and then the other one just went way off the rails.
Did you guys see that
Anyways.
screenshot where she has like it's like from the movie and she has like that giant ass like anime sword? It looks like it should be heavier than she is.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I guess that movie's coming out. So, yay.
just what Monster Hunter needed, a movie tie-in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Monster Hunter World's a good game. Apparently, like it's one of the free ones for the PlayStation Now stuff or PlayStation Plus. So if you haven't tried it, give it a whirl. It's a pretty fun game. It's very popularly well received. This movie, however, probably will not be.
Yeah,
For
my faith is not high.
the 20-ish hours that I played Monster Hunter, I mean, it was a terrifically fun game. It's just there's a lot of like end game stuff that takes a lot of time to grind out, and I just didn't want to put in the time. But it is incredibly fun.
I was about to ask if you'd ever played one. Which one did you play?
I didn't play Iceborne. I played Monster Hunter World when it first came out.
Okay.
I guess like 2 years ago or something. But I haven't jumped back on with Iceborne. I hear that Iceborne is fantastic and the graphical updates they did with it is breathtaking, but I just haven't had the time to get there yet.
I've heard it's really good. I don't think it's really the style of game I would enjoy, but Jay has also like told us that he really had fun with it when he played it. So, yeah, there's a movie coming out.
And then a game Dizzy talked about a little bit earlier, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. That game has now shipped over 3 million copies worldwide already. So this game is on fire.
Yeah, and it's like by far the most successful Warriors game that they have ever done, apparently. So they're just like making bukus of money off of this, and they're probably
People
like
gotta get that Breath of the Wild fix before the second one.
Yeah, which we still have not seen or learned anything else about since that
not
first
a
reveal.
damn peep.
But maybe there'll be like some kind of like secret teaser ending in Hyrule Warriors. I don't know.
Maybe.
A man can
The
dream. I feel like I
release
would have
date?
heard about it already if there was,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Well, you have to do some secret stuff nobody's found out about, and then once you do that, it's going to give you the release date of
That
that.
would be
Yeah,
amazing.
right.
But let's
That's
but
the
let's be
main
real.
side quest.
Yeah, but let's be real. Nintendo, like if a leak gets out for this Zelda game for the new Breath of the Wild, somebody's going to die. Like they'll kill somebody
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
The ninjas will be sent out.
Yeah.
So with this game being so successful, not that I thought there was any doubt anyway, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of DLC coming. I'm not sure who all, like if there are any secret characters in the game already, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added some of the characters from the original Breath of the Wild, that maybe weren't alive 100 years ago, like Sidon or something like that. So that would be cool. But yeah, congratulations. What company does the Warriors games? Why can't I think of that right now?
No clue.
Oh, well, congrats to them. Okay, so this was kind of controversial. Last week, the Dragon Quest XI's remaster came out on PS4 and Steam. It was formerly only on Switch, but apparently when that was released, Square Enix actually delisted the original version of Dragon Quest XI from like all digital storefronts. So the only way to get it now is if you already had a code or if you want to find like the PS4 physical version, which on the one hand, I can understand because I guess maybe Square Enix just wanted to, avoid confusion, or maybe they just want everybody to be playing the new version. But the problem is, apparently, the original PS4 version actually looked graphically better than the new 11S version, because when they released it on PS4 and Steam and all that, they kept like the lower res textures from the Switch version and didn't re-update them back to how they originally were. So a lot of people are pissed.
Well, I have the digital version of it on my PC, so, and I have the Switch version too. So
yeah, no problem on your end, but
nope.
I just think it's kind of a shitty practice. Like, even just from the perspective of preservation of gaming history and all that shit. But what you gonna do? I mean, we could go on a tirade about that with Nintendo's policy of, Mario will no longer exist after March 31st, apparently.
Yeah, that's weird. So, well, the next one we've got is Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers patch 5.4 lands on December 8th. Adds Eden's Promise raid dungeons and many more. So just a kind of a quick little update on theirs. You've got new raid dungeon, Chronicles of New Era, new trials, new dungeons, new explorer mode, ocean fishing updates, triple triad updates, crafters, Save the Queen update patch. So if you want to take a look at that, definitely go out there and look at the patch notes. It's a lot of good stuff. Final Fantasy XIV definitely is one of those games that keeps on giving. So
yeah, I figured I'd throw this into the news docket today since you're supposed to be our MMO correspondent over there.
Yep, I got to get back to that one here soon. Just with the PlayStation 5 stuff, I haven't really jumped into it. It does run on PS5. I don't know if they've already done the update yet. I think that's coming, that they're going to do an update for the PS5.
That'll be
in
cool.
the chat. Leveled said FF14 is apparently getting pummeled by Shadowlands.
I wouldn't doubt
For
that.
now, it is.
Is Shadowlands another MMO game?
That's the World of Warcraft stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
that makes
just
sense.
give it time. They'll all migrate off, and then
You'll think it'll flatten back out.
Yeah. Anytime World of Warcraft puts something out like that, there's a huge spike, and then it'll just start to level out. So, yep.
I just now saw that Leveled AF was in the chat, so thanks for joining us today, sir. Yeah, so one more story. The Sakuna of Rice and Ruin has surpassed 500,000 copies sold worldwide. So it was like a sleeper hit. Like, I'd never even heard of it. Or now I don't think I would have, really, if I didn't host this show. But it's apparently like a mix of a dungeon crawler and like Stardew Valley, like, the farming sims. I've heard it's really good, and I watched like a review on it, and apparently this studio is like hit gold because it was just like a big success out of nowhere in a new franchise and all that. So if you're interested in that, I would recommend checking it out. I thought it looked cool. And then we're going to throw it to David here real quick. What kind of Destiny 2 news is out there right now?
Well, there's a decent bit for those that don't play Destiny. There's probably a lot, but those of us that play Destiny on a regular basis, there's like not a lot going on right now. So I thought that was just a wah wah wah. So, oh well. So they are Bungie is doing their Game to Give charity right now through December 14th, where they're raising funds for their children's Miracle Network, where they basically give like technology pieces, whether it be like
Oops, I did not mean to cut you off just there.
Wow.
You're done.
Like,
That's enough.
Fine with me. I guess we had 20 seconds and that's it. So they give like pieces of technology like iPads and like things that children can use while they're ill in hospitals. It's a great charity.
Really awesome.
So those of you that are interested,
awesome.
You can go to a lot of different people's streams on Twitch. Their goal is $2 million. I think they're already at like 850K or something like that. They're only at December 6th. So that's a really cool thing to get a part of. Bungie's been doing a lot of these things recently. So definitely do that. Iron Banner's coming out this next week. So I guess the 8th is coming out in Iron. For those of you that don't know, it's a Pinnacle PvP activity. That comes around once a month, so that's a thing. And then there's also a new graphical update coming for next gen consoles. So they're actually like revamping some of the in-game graphical engine, and it's going to be updated for the PS5 and the Xbox. What's Xbox
Series X.
What is Series X?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
The
not
Xbox
it's
Series
not so
family
popular.
of consoles.
Yes.
Yes, Xbox Series X version 5.2. And then there's also the seasonal event, The Dawning, coming out, which the last 2 years have been a little bit of a letdown. But it's kind of the Christmas event where everything's very snowy and very aesthetically pleasing, and you get a couple of weird quests, and then that's about it. So there's a couple of things coming up for Destiny. There's a lot of controversy in the PvP community right now for a lot of bugs and things that they've gotten rid of for Trials of Osiris. For those that don't know, it's a 3v3, really high end kind of I guess competitive experience for PvP, and it's been out of commission since Beyond Light's been out because of a lot of bugs and glitches. So there's a lot of upset people and for that.
I've heard a lot of people complaining about stasis. That's like a new ability, right?
Yeah, so they ripped off the name from Breath of the Wild, obviously.
All right.
But no, so stasis is actually a new set of like subclass abilities, right? So there's Arc, Solar, and Void, which are the 3 set of subclasses that have been around since the beginning of Destiny 1, but in Beyond Light, there's a new set of subclass called Stasis, and that's like the ability to use the darkness, and it's all about like ice and slowing and like freezing, basically. And there's a lot of people that are very upset because in PvP now, you have the ability to freeze anyone at any time. So you might be like in midair, jumping around a corner, in a dodge animation, in a super, and you can just be frozen in like 1 or 2 shot at any given time during a PvP match. And people are getting very frustrated at it, which I mean, for a franchise that's been out for 7 years now, having a complete change in game mechanics, it would kind of upset some people. So I get it. It's not as, so they did some hot fixes to a couple of the abilities, and it's getting better, but it's still very frustrating. So I get why a lot of, like, if you go to the Destiny Reddit right now, it's a dumpster fire. It's just like person after person after person of just like, wow. So
yeah,
it's different, that's for sure.
There is a lot more. I know it's like an ongoing game, but I'm not surprised by just how much is going on.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that with Destiny, if you don't play Destiny on like a regular basis, when, like, say for example you play for a couple of months at a big release and then you put it down, then you come back to it, it's almost overwhelming, the stuff that, like, once you open it up and all of the pings on your UI, it's like, oh my god, there's like 1,000 things to do right now. So it's, when you don't play for a while, or if you're just getting into it, it's very daunting because of how much depth there is to the game at this current moment. So
well, I'm thinking about it. I'm pretty sure that Destiny 2 is up for best ongoing game for the Game Awards. Do you think it has a chance of winning, or is it going to go to something else?
I know that they were in the running last year as well, and last year, I would argue that where Destiny is right now as the game as a whole is one of the best places that it's been for since Destiny 2 has come out. I've had more fun playing in the last couple of weeks than I have in the last like year and a half. Incredibly fun, very engaging. The story elements to it, they're finally getting to a place where it's like, oh wow, you're telling a really good story now. Awesome. Right. And so I do think that it's definitely at least top 3, because they've done a really good job being independent from Activision this last year. They've done a really good job of cultivating a great game and environment. So I wouldn't be surprised if they won. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Leveled AF asks, what happened to Trials? He asked that a while ago, so not sure what he's talking about.
All right, so Leveled, also for the quick shout out, Leveled's a good friend of mine, and actually I'll be on his podcast probably next week, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Great guy.
Spreading the love.
Spread all the love. Trials, yes, there we go.
Wait, shout out. What podcast is it? What's the name of it?
I literally just blanked. Leveled. What's it called again?
Leveled. If you tell us your podcast name, we'll plug you.
Shut it. It's hold on. I just blanked. Do it. Yep. Hold on. Wait.
Less than
Less
average
than average.
podcast.
Thank you.
That's
you.
cool. That's
I've
cool
heard
name.
that.
Yeah. Well, did you feel like you learned anything, Rich, as a fellow Destiny player?
Yeah, I mean, I knew some of the things that they've been having troubles with. Trials of Cyrus. I knew some of the issues with the new stasis powers and whatnot. I knew they're kind of a little OP, but it's to be expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody finds a
yeah,
glitch and they take over with it.
Cool.
Yep. But yeah.
All right, so moving on to our RPG releases, we've had quite a few since last time we did this segment. So I'm just going to try to do a lightning round and get through this as fast as I can. We got Chronos Before the Ashes on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and even Stadia on December 1st.
Stadia's still a thing.
I know, right? Apparently some people like Stadia. I don't...
They're wrong,
Gluttons
obviously.
for punishment.
They're just wrong.
Right. Empire of Sin was also on the first PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Shiren the Wanderer, The Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate. What a title. Switch and PC on December 2nd. Haven came to PS5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC on December 3rd. These next few are all December 3rd. Taiko no Tatsujin. Rhythmic. How come I got through the Japanese part of the name and I couldn't say rhythmic? Yeah, Rhythmic Adventure Pack on Switch. Morbid, The Seven Acolytes, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Death Tales on Switch. Tinkertown on PC is entering early access, also on the 3rd. On the 4th, as we mentioned, Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. That is a mouthful too. Came to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And we lost the original DQ11, of course. Also on the 4th, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light came to the Switch, the original NES game. I've heard it actually is, it hasn't aged that poorly. Like it's still playable, which is interesting.
Yep, I'll let you guys know when I play it.
Please do. I know Deesa's been playing it and enjoying it, but she'll play anything. So
just tell her it's an RPG that you can do on handheld and she's all over it.
Yep. There you go. Monster Sanctuary came to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on December 8th. Well, actually, it exited early access on the 8th. Brigandine, The Legend of Runergia came to PS4 on December 10th. And then here's the big one. Also on December 10th, we are finally getting Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Are we
been waiting all year?
Time. Yeah, right. Are we sure about that?
Yeah, no.
I won't believe it until like it's in my hand.
Right.
That's when I'll know the delays are over.
Yeah. Or, we put the game and it goes, sorry,
Actually, guys,
it doesn't work yet, but you have the disc. We didn't promise the game. We promised the copy.
You have to wait for the
patch
day
coming in January.
The day 40 patch.
That would suck.
I'm looking
a long
for
time coming.
Yeah.
So what's coming up in the next week, Corey?
Okay, so there's only a couple things coming up. On December 5th, Rich will be glad to know that the collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend is coming to Switch.
I will get that.
Yeah.
I'll
and
probably
on
pick it up eventually.
Really? Wait, so what's the difference between this Saga Final Fantasy Legend and the Saga Frontier?
So these were the original Saga games and stuff. They're I'm trying to think at the top of my head here how you like Mana series too. I think they're kind of a mix between the Saga and the Mana series and how they kind of split off.
Gotcha.
Somebody correct me on that one, but they were all on GBA.
I think what it
Gotcha.
was is in Japan, the original Saga was a Game Boy game. But when they brought it to America, they wanted to make it more marketable so people would buy it. So they renamed it Final Fantasy Legend. But it's actually not a Final Fantasy game. So
Okay. Makes total sense.
yeah, right?
I have the originals, but I haven't played them yet. So
Yeah.
Nice. And then on the 17th, we'll have Mercenaries Blaze Dawn of the Twin Dragons coming to the Switch. And that is it for upcoming games, closing out the year.
We had a chunky news segment this week, but we got through it. Yeah, so without further ado, we'll take a quick break before our main discussion. Okay, I am going to get more coffee real quick, and then we'll
I
continue.
could use some coffee as well.
Go get
All right.
coffee, boys.
Everybody break. Be back in like 2 minutes.
Everybody run. Rich, entertain the people.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rich. We'll be back.
I just knocked over my water, so this might take another minute than what I said.
Good God, Scott.
High leveled. What's up, buddy? They are on socials. If you go to, well, I guess you might have seen the one on Twitter, the RPG years, and then I don't know if they have an Instagram. Actually, I don't think they. I think it's just a Twitter. Do you guys
I
have
think
an
it's
Instagram?
just Twitter.
Just Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just Twitter, and you can find them like he said. He was right. It's at RPG. Is it RPG
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just looked.
I don't even know their own damn Twitter, and I have to call the shit out of it. I'm not the social media guy. I mean, shit, you know
right.
me. I'm never on socials.
I've been trying to get better at socials.
Ooh,
I'm not very
What about Twitter?
good at it though.
Leveled was wanting the socials.
Oh, yeah. It's at RPG Years on Twitter.
Oh, David was already giving you shout outs.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I got you. I know how to Twitch. I got you.
I need to join the 21st century and start using OBS instead of streaming straight from Zoom. So I'll have we can do be right back screens during all this shit and
I mean,
starting
if you need me help kind of setting stuff up, you know I'm happy to help, my dude. And truth be told, I think that if you wanted to, I know that Discord technically doesn't have as good of voice over internet protocol as a few other things, but like Muxy, if you set up a Muxy server, that's awesome. But like you can independently record like even if you wanted to, you could record in OBS and then also in Discord and then also on your other one, and then you can mix and match whatever. Like, because yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with streaming from OBS. So
I didn't know that was a thing.
We're learning stuff.
And I told you the story about when I actually did use Streamlabs for the PC building stream, and then
you didn't press stop.
I didn't. I thought when you rated, that would just automatically end your stream. But
nope. Actually, hold on. You did that 2 weeks ago?
Something like that.
Is it still going?
Is it still going?
No.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure it's deleted by now. I didn't delete it, but Twitch only has a couple weeks before they delete it automatically, right?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Well, you can link your Twitch Prime if you want. Oh, I guess you'd have it on your own, right?
Right. Yeah. Although
Yeah.
that's a good idea to. I've never even thought about that. I should do that for the podcast.
Yeah.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah, because you can do that, and then you can save all your VODs for a couple of 90 days or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
The game's all here again.
Is
Sorry.
everybody settled and comfortable and all that?
I'm always comfortable.
David, you ready to
Oh.
do a whole big old block of talking?
Yeah, I can do that. But leveled. So one thing you should look into is there's a bot called Craigbot. Craigbot is it's an independent Discord bot that you can load into Discord channels, and it's really cool. This is what we use because you can record with OBS, but then you can also Craigbot will go into whatever voice channel you designate, and it will record each independent person individually. So that way, if all four of us were on a Discord call, the end product would be 4 independent audio sources that you splice together, and that way you can edit each one individually. It's so powerful. If you're ever interested, that way, if my voice was super low in the end recording, you can adjust me individually. So it just gives you a little bit more free range of motion.
Yeah. If you record with Zoom, it also does that. But I've had problems with streaming the Zoom meeting and recording at the same time. It causes audio distortion. Or
Yeah,
something
a lot of
for
times
some
they
reason.
don't get along.
That's
I don't know why.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. We
All right, let's
ready to
dive on
come
in.
back, boys?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. Starting back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. It is time for the main discussion. Just who is Dizzydlo?
That was
Wow.
like some epic music.
That's the most epic
Right?
introduction music ever.
It really was. That was awesome.
I am God, and now we're here.
That's like what David would walk out to the wrestling ring too.
Yeah. Fireworks
yeah,
and Destiny
for sure.
music.
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't know, that's actually the main score for the new Destiny raid, the Deepstone Crypt. It's super epic and super cool. So
Yeah, I actually
would
got that from him. I'm like, hey, what do you want your intro music to be? So,
Nice.
That one.
so we already sort of introduced David and how we know him, but I guess now we're going to get more into what he does for, I guess, currently sort of for a living, but
Yeah.
So he's a pretty successful streamer. He's normally got an average of 20 or more people, which is more than I would ever hope for us. So people seem to like him. He's got a great community around him. He podcasts, he streams.
People seem to like it.
I was gonna say the same thing. People seem to like.
We don't
You
like
understand
him.
why.
We
Scott's
tolerate
over
him.
here just I don't know why they like him, but I guess people seem to like him. But
So I guess I'll just give you a minute to just talk about that, what you do and your general feelings about all of it.
Sure. So I've been podcasting for about 1.5 years now. I guess, yeah, about a little over that. Me and my good friend, Sean, or known as Dumpy, Dumpster Bonfire, actually. Great name. We started a podcast called Drunk Destiny about, I guess about 18 year and a half ago. And it's all about making have you guys ever heard of the Drunk History show?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
love
love it.
Yeah. So it's basically the Destiny version of that show because one of the main gripes about Destiny is that there's so much lore and story to it, but it's not in game, right? It's in storybooks and blog posts, and in Destiny 1 it was on Bungie.net and things called Grimoire, and people were really interested in the story, but they didn't have direct access to it in game. So we decided, hey, why don't we have a podcast where we have someone who plays religiously, who was me, and then someone who's very casual, who was Sean at that time. And we'll just talk about the story and like news and stuff of Destiny from a very casual point of view over drinks with good friends. And we started that, and that kind of, you know, we started right before I moved out to LA, and then we were like, hey, why don't we try doing this on Twitch? And we started streaming a little bit more, and then I started, you know, playing games on it, and then we took a little bit of a break because of my job. But earlier this year, I got to a breaking point in my current career, as Cody and or Scott and Corey know, and it was just one of those things where I couldn't see myself doing a career in what I was doing. And Miss Dizzy and I sat down. She, you know, is a very successful graphic designer and artist and illustrator. I can say that because she's my wife. And
no, she is really good, super talented.
Yeah. So she does a lot of. We can talk about that later. But we got to a place where she was like, "Hey, why don't you really enjoy streaming? You really enjoy creating content. You enjoy podcasting. Why don't you, until the end of the year, give it a shot? Let's see where it goes. Quit your job and let's do it." And so back in, I guess, end of August, September, I actually quit my job as an accountant and wanted to dive more into Twitch. And since then, I've been streaming a little bit more, you know, 3, sometimes 4 days a week, primarily in the mornings. And I really focus more on community, right? Because Twitch is a weird place. If anyone that spends a lot of time on Twitch knows that it's very strange and very diverse depending on where you go. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to create something where it's a community of people that can hang out and just be themselves and not have to worry about like stigmas or cross promoting, or just a place to come and just have a good time. And it's been pretty humbling to kind of see you know, the types of people that come in and like the amount of like people that have common interests, and like the community that cultivate around like certain video games or certain topics. And I've had the chance to grow more than I thought I would in the last 6 months or so. And it's been a lot of fun. I would consider streaming not necessarily a full-time gig. It's certainly more of like a part-time job type thing. But luckily the design business that me and Mrs. have been doing it's been kind of taking over as the primary like job that we've been doing of you know, illustration.
I was about to say it may not be like your full-time career, but it has led to other opportunities for you guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So in the last 6 months or so as well, my wife and I have kind of started an independent like graphic design business, I guess. And we've been doing a lot of like editing and like graphics and branding for not only like streamers, but we've done a couple of small businesses. We've done a couple of podcasts like this one. And it's been, you know, it's weird the types of opportunities and connections that come from Twitch, right? Like I think, Cody, you've seen that in the last couple of weeks of just like ways to, you know, network in real life based off people you met on Twitch, right? So
yeah, it's mind blowing. It
is
the connections and the relationships that you can get from just hanging out in a Twitch chat room, watching somebody play a video game, and that leads to hour-long conversations. And then it's like, oh wait, I'm actually. And you start talking to them offline, and then you get to know them there. And it all came from watching somebody play a video game. It's mind blowing.
Well, I was going to say and vouch for like David's community. Like it's full of like a lot of really awesome people. Like
his community.
I've been hanging out in there, and I would consider some of them to be my friends now. It's a like I don't know hardly anything about Destiny other than what I osmosis away from watching those streams. But like despite that, like I would consider a couple of them to be my friends. Even just yesterday when we were streaming one of our Patreon reviews, J-Man jumped in the chat and was hanging out. So
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
And J-Man also like tried to help me get a job at one point. So
yeah, no, it really is insane because like oddly enough, you guys know my good friend Perkinji, who's another streamer. But I met him while I was. It's a very funny story. While I was drunk, perusing Twitch, trying to like just find people to hang out with, and I jumped into a stream where he was playing Destiny, and I was living in Tennessee at that point before I moved to LA, and I found out he lived in LA. And then because I randomly stumbled into someone's like chat on Twitch while I was a little intoxicated, and we just hit it off. He's one of my best friends in real life now. Like we hang out all the, well, not recently, but we were hanging out, here in LA. We've got a YouTube channel together now. We stream together. We shoot the shit all the time. Like Twitch is insane because, like, I don't know, a couple of years ago, if you're like, hey, you're going to meet a lot of really good friends virtually from a video game streaming website,
Right.
I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's not real.
And before I forget, you do have a YouTube channel with Perkinji. That's the Tryhards, right?
Yes.
So go check that out. I just wanted to make sure we didn't forget to plug that. And also, for
I
those
forget to plug
wondering
that too.
why David has called me Cody a few times, like I said, we are IRL friends. Cody is my first name. Scott is my middle. I go by both, depending on who I'm talking to. So
That's why I always fuck up and call him Cody.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
no worries. Yeah, and then also like just talking about how weird it is to connect with a community. I have also been, as I alluded to, like job hunting, and I've put in like dozens of applications at this point. Not really had any luck. I think I got like one interview. So I go on Twitter a couple weeks ago and do like a tweet like, "Hey, trying this. Anybody out there that knows of an open position?" And I've now had like 3 interviews since that tweet, just from like people I know on Twitter. It's just like having a community of people that you like and work with and all that. It's really amazing what you can get done. It's like the millennial version of networking.
Well, it's
Yeah,
also been a
exactly.
very like welcome thing to introduce to us with the Twitch community. With I mean, shit, we can't go anywhere. We can't see our friends because of this pandemic. So it's a nice outlet to have.
Right.
Yep.
And jumping back a little bit, I also remember before you started Drunk Destiny, like for several months before that, you were talking about wanting to start a podcast and like just toying around with different ideas. I know at one point you had talked about maybe having like more than just Sean on, like a roundtable type thing.
Yeah. Well, and I still think that we would like to do that at some point and do like multiple different types of like color commentaries on different types of games. Maybe different like entertainment as well. Because when we started the podcast, it was really like, hey, let's set time once a week, because we had just finished college. He had started a new job. I was working full time as well. Like there was a lot of stuff going on. And we said to ourselves, hey, let's figure out a time to absolutely once a week sit down and just hang out with buds. And that's kind of where Drunk Destiny came from, just having beers and talking about video games. But we've had the great opportunity to meet a lot of wonderful people in a lot of different types of game communities. And we'd love to get a roundtable type thing together where it's not Destiny focused, and like we can talk about old retro games and other MMO like shooters, like Warframe and Destiny and like all these different things, because everything in all of these communities have one thing in common, is that we all love video games. Like no matter what kind of games you like you're going to find something in common. That would be a ton of fun. Let's collab. Let's do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember we had even talked about potentially being on one together way back in the day, and it was just like once we settled on Destiny, I was just like, you guys have fun with that.
Which is fair. Well, and that's the thing, is that I primarily stream Destiny and I play a lot of Destiny, but I'm also very, very fortunate that my community and the people I've gotten to know are really like, I always say that like Twitch is about people more than anything else, right? Like you can go to any streamer on Twitch and be like, oh, they're playing this game. But like if you watch it and you hang out and you're like, this isn't my cup of tea. It's really about the people that you're interacting with, right? Because any person that's playing the same game, it's a completely different dynamic. And I've had I've been fortunate enough so that the people that I've met, no matter what game I'm playing, I always have friends to be there and hang out. So like whether it's retro days or just chatting, or I played Warframe there for a little while. yeah, I need to play more Warframe. And like I've been able to meet all these people and through all these different games, and that's really what Twitch is about, is like people, like game,
Yeah.
and it's almost like games kind of come second at a certain point.
For sure. Like maybe it's because I'm an attention whore or whatever, but like I don't like being. I usually don't watch like the big streamers, that have hundreds of viewers, because it's just like, well, what's the point? Because you can't really interact with them because there are so many people, and then it's just like, well, I could just be watching like a YouTube video. It's not that different.
Exactly. Yep.
But yeah, so the whole thing with the Drunk Destiny, like how many episodes have you guys been doing now? Would you say?
So it's honestly, it's been kind of spotty since I guess 2020, kind of with quarantine, just with scheduling and people with we've had like we've wanted to get a lot of different people on from the Destiny community, but like due to health reasons or family stuff, we just haven't had a lot of time to podcast. But I think right now we're at 53 episodes in total.
Nice.
Throughout the last year. So some of them have been like we did a couple of Star Wars episodes, we did a couple of like just general gaming episodes, but I think in total we've got 44 Destiny episodes. And all of them cover like different little like bite-sized pieces of the Destiny universe, whether it be different characters or a certain storyline or a certain like book entry that's like, why is this happening and why did we do this in game and what are the repercussions in the story? Because sometimes you don't get that. So yeah, we've gone through, like, the more I talk with people, like while I'm just hanging out in Discord playing a game, they have like questions about lore or story. It's like, oh, I've got this. It's right in the back of my head. I'm like, wow, I've read a lot of stupid stuff about Destiny.
Yeah, right. Oh, we actually got a good question in the chat here from 2CarrotCake. Says, I've had really poopy interactions with the communities in multiplayer games and have been staying away from them for a few years. Any tips for a fellow gamer to get back into it?
Throw that
How
one
would you say
to Dizzy.
Yeah. How would you say the Destiny community is with that?
All right, so those of you that play Destiny, I think, will understand this. Sometimes people suck, and
Yes.
that's a good way to put that. Like, I do think that PvP communities, whether it be Call of Duty or Valorant or like Battle Royale stuff like Apex or Fortnite, the competitive nature from those can turn toxic very, very, very quickly. Because even in Destiny,
Fortnite.
we only play Fortnite. Yep. Yep. Like even in Destiny, like the sweat community that are all like 3v3s and scrims and like all these different things, they do get incredibly competitive. And even with like competitive like tournaments and stuff, people are DDoSing. They're using different cheating and cheating tools, and like it can be a really rough place. However, getting into multiplayer communities, I find if you find the right people in a smaller community, right? Like, I didn't play a whole lot of PvP in Destiny for a long time until I met a few people that were like, hey, I'm not in this to win. I'm here to have fun and just kind of get better. And there's a lot of like LFG Discords out there. Like, even go to like the Call of Duty like Reddit, or go to the Apex Reddit, and like there's a lot of different links to different communities and Discords that have people that have like-minded or are like-minded in their mindset. That was a really not good.
I got what you meant.
But
Yep.
you know what you're, yeah. And it's, if you put in the time to actually look for the people that think about games the way you do, it's not that hard to get back into it. So that's what I would recommend. Just take some time, try to figure out a good avenue to go in, and meet people that think like you.
Yeah, you're in like not a gang. What's the word? Like a clan. The Fundament, right? And that's full of like all these awesome people that we've been like alluding to, sort of over the course of this.
Yeah, we've got I think just under 400 people in our Discord now, with people that are Sherpas that help out with like PvE activities or PvP. I actually run lore nights over there, so we do once a week where we get together and we just talk about stories, and similar to our podcast, but just kind of on a more personal level. But yeah, finding those communities that you meld with, for me, it's taken me 4 years of playing Destiny to really find a community where I'm like, oh yeah, these are my people. You know, like it does take time to find that. And I'm sure with like, you know, Final Fantasy communities or
Right.
It's just like there's exactly right. Like yeah, these are this kind of sucks.
There's some good ones in there, but there's some horrible ones in there too.
Yeah, well, and especially like Warcraft. Like Warcraft is one of the first games that like really alluded to like grouping up in clans and like playing socially. And some of those communities now are just like, oof, no thanks. But there are also some that like are fantastic. So it just it takes time to find them, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Rich, when you play Destiny, is it always just like with whoever you get matched with, or do you have like a gang or something?
I have a gang. Yeah, we're on the streets, hustling kids for money. No, I have a group that I've been playing with since D1, which is just real life friends of mine I've had. We used to have a fourth one, and then whenever Destiny 1 came out and says, "Oh, we have a 3-man fire team," we gotta actually kick that guy out. But anyways, yeah, I played with the same 2 people probably for a long time. It's right. Community, small. If you get to the really, really big communities, it's hard to connect with some people. But, it takes time.
Yeah. And also, I want to make sure that we mention before, we move on or anything, that David and his wife also did have like a branding business, Twitch branding, on top of, her art commissions. So if you have any kind of like needs for, transitions or like overlays, all that stuff, they're a good place to go to. Yeah, emotes, all that. And that's been going well for you guys, right?
Yeah. So I think her work really speaks for itself.
Agreed.
She's incredibly talented. She's been doing stuff. She was actually featured by Bungie later, or I guess earlier in the year. I guess.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
this year.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was in the summer, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so I mean, she's primarily Destiny focused on her pages, like for her Twitter and her Instagram, but committing yourself to one specific community and one style of art is, that's a niche thing, right? Mm-hmm. She does a lot of different types of art and design, and we're moving away from just doing like sci-fi fantasy stuff, where it's going to be more of like professional branding and Twitch branding and emotes and like all these different types of things. And I mean, just going to her page, you're like, wow, this is really good stuff, and I think that speaks for itself. But she's had the chance to work with a lot of different like Twitch partners, a lot of she's done a lot of emote projects for a lot of really big streamers. It's been cool to watch, and I mean, luckily it's been successful enough that that's kind of what we're doing full time now. I do more of the business side of things and more of the animated styles. Like if you go to like my stream, I've done all of my own animations, all of my own transitions and graphics and effects and stuff. Thank you. So we've been doing a lot of rebrands for a lot of different people, and it's been really good. And I think that for me, it's completely different than what I've done the rest of my life, because I was sitting in boardrooms and doing spreadsheets and stuff, and now it's just a completely 100% creative type environment, and I'm still trying to learn how to cope, but it's really fun. So I really enjoy doing it. Yeah.
And we actually do, if you're interested in that, anyone out there, we do have the link to Mrs. Dizzy's Instagram in our show notes every week. So that'll be down there. And then, of course, we'll put some links in this episode to some of your stuff, David.
Awesome. Thank you.
But before we close out the discussion or anything, is there anything like in particular that you wanted to talk about that you didn't get to or anything like that?
Once he finishes that, I have one Destiny question I need to ask.
Okay. Well, yeah, ask away, whatever you like.
All right.
Let me see. Yeah, go ahead. You go first.
You think. All right. So in Destiny 2, when Cade met his end, how did you guys feel?
I was very sad. However, I thought it was done really well.
Good.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, Nathan Fillion is one of my favorite voice actors. I like him as a person and a lot of the stuff that he's in. Who was the guy that voiced Cade, for those that don't know. But during Forsaken, Cade was, well, I guess throughout the entire Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 franchise up to that point, he was always like the comedic relief character. He was always the happy-go-lucky, robot cool dude who drank and ate, fried chicken and stuff. It was like super cool guy. But I thought that they were relying too much on his personality for a lot of the story. And the fact that they went to a place where like, this is a very beloved character and he is going to now die shows the direction of where we're wanting the story of the franchise to go, which is far darker and far more, I guess, gritty, to the sense of like, because like since that happened, the story of Destiny has just continually gone down this dark path of like, well, what is right, what is wrong, what is, the type of thing that we should be doing compared to what actually works for the universe. It's been really cool to see. So I miss Cade a lot, but I thought what they did, and I hope that they never bring him back. Actually, there's, because in Beyond Light, it's all about exos and the founding of exos and how they were made, and like Clovis Bray and all that stuff. And people have been speculating, well, Cade was an exo and he's going to be brought back with his his prior version of himself because he was backed up in a memory bank. But I'd hope that they don't do that and they leave the character where he is. I
just miss Nathan Fillion. I just miss
I
that guy.
do too. I totally miss Nathan. He's awesome. But
obviously I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but it does always suck when any kind of character is brought back from the death. It's very hard to do that and make it not feel like cheap or whatever.
Yeah, he just has a lot of great one-liners.
Exactly. Well, and oddly enough, for Forsaken, they weren't able to bring Nathan Fillion back for that. So that was actually like all of Forsaken's, first couple of, I guess, probably 30 minutes. That was all Nolan North, the same guy that does the Ghost. So if you go back and play the Forsaken campaign, that's not Nathan Fillion.
Oh my God,
did a really good job. Yeah. So
Nolan North is also Nathan Drake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of stuff.
He was David in The Last of Us as well. So he's a very talented voice actor.
Very talented. But
did you have any other questions, Rich? I know I told you to think of some.
That was the big one. Because that was such a big controversy at first whenever that happened.
Yeah.
People were not happy about it. But I agree. It's puts it in the right direction of going on the dark path and not relying heavily on one person. Because let's be honest, Ikora and Zavala are not really that strong of characters, in my opinion. So giving them a chance to kind of really grow is a good thing. Yeah.
Well, and I don't think they've done enough with those two characters personally. I think that they're getting there, but like for the story, like, they went Forsaken and then Shadowkeep, which was all about, like the darkness coming into the system and the moon and Eris Morn. And they kind of hit a little bit on like Zavala and Ikora in the main Vanguard. And then once Beyond Light hit, they kind of like cut them out of the story completely. Yeah. Like now it's all about the Exo Stranger back from Destiny 1, and it's all about the Drifter who runs Gambit and Eris again. It's like, all right, well, it seems like they kind of wrote them off a little bit, which I hope that they go back and revisit some of those old stories. But I'm not a story writer. I just enjoy a good story,
Okay. If there's nothing else, was there any plugs that you wanted to throw out there that we forgot about or anything like that?
Put the spotlight on Dizzy. Anything you want to throw out?
Not particularly. Just if anyone's looking for a fun community to be a part of on Twitch, we do some chatting, kind of talk show oriented stuff. We do a lot of Destiny stuff, and then we also do some retro and old style games like Scott was saying earlier. You can find me at twitch.tv/Dizzydlo, and I'm there pretty often throughout the week and usually in the mornings. But it's a fun place to hang around, I think. And
Dizzydlo, all one word, right?
Yeah, Dizzydlo. And
but
then
on
all
Twitter,
my socials
there's an underscore.
Yeah. So it's either Dizzydlo with or without an underscore, and usually if there is an underscore, it's still myself. It's just the personal version. So like my Instagram, I've got both, so just pick one. But no, I appreciate you guys having me on. If you guys have any Twitch questions or OBS questions or anything like that, I've done tutorials for people in the past, and let me know. I'm a jack of all trades, dude, so just hit me up.
Yeah, I was hoping to already be streaming on my own account by now, but of course I've been having the PC build issues. So
Fucking PC.
eventually, so once that happens, you'll probably be hearing from me. And then,
Absolutely.
like we said, also check out Mrs. Dizzy on Instagram and Twitter, and hopefully she'll have a website soon. I know that's in the works, but yeah, hopefully we can.
Write a bio.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
No idea, dude.
We just need 6 sentences. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, we enjoyed having you on, and
Yeah, this
I
was a
wouldn't
blast.
be opposed to having you on again one day. I don't know what we
Yeah,
talked
absolutely.
about.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, well, maybe one day I'll play more things than Destiny on a regular basis.
There you go.
Next time,
but guys,
next time we'll
seriously,
just all
thank you
get
for having
drunk
me.
and we'll talk Marvel movies.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh my God! Or let's just do like Marvel and Star Wars and all fun things cinematics. I'm totally down. Let's do this.
All right, everybody book that.
Awesome.
Write it down.
Well, guys, yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
Love you, baby.
Love you,
Bye.
babes. Miss you.
Give you the Mrs. My Love, our love.
I
Yes.
shall. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Cool dude. I love
Phew.
him.
Glad that's over. No, I'm just kidding. Love David. Dizzy.
No, he's a gem.
But we just wanted to go ahead and drop him off since we're going on to the RPG club now, and obviously he doesn't know anything about
It would
NieR.
bore him.
Yeah, right. So yeah, like I said, glad to have him on, and it was fun getting to catch up with him. We're bad friends. We're not very good at like staying in touch beyond Twitch and all that.
I was about to say we talk to him so much on his Twitch channel. It almost feels like that we talk to him more than anybody.
He says in the chat, "Wow, rude. You bore me, Scott." I deserve that.
Yep.
Yes, you did. That was deserved.
All right, so let's move on. Wow, nope. We have a jingle for that, not the little ding. Hang on. Let me pull it up here and go.
All right, everyone, quiet down. All rise. We're here today to bring to order the next session of the RPG Club. All in favor? All opposed? And looks like the ayes have it. Then let the RPG Club commence!
I've just been so nervous with Dizzy here that it threw me off my game and all my drops and like hitting my mic and spilling my water and all that. It's like, damn.
He has that effect on people.
Right. Okay, so we're doing these shorter RPG Club segments since we're doing the long reviews. But basically, the goal was to finish the MIA mission in Route B of NieR Automata, which is the amusement park mission, which apparently some people got confused by because there was also 9S MIA and Route A, which is much later in the story. So some people got confused about that, but regardless. So I guess, let's see, where did this segment start? I think it was right before the weird religious cult thing in the factory. And then it runs from there to the end of Route A. We got an ending for the first time, ending A, and then moved on to Route B, which is, playing the same story more or less from 9S's perspective, which was cool.
So first thing,
I guess
did we all make it?
We did. Jay did not.
Oh, that's a strike.
Strike one for
Yeah,
Jay.
I think, Jay's got one strike before on the last club.
He did, yeah.
Shame. Shame.
Can't defend himself.
That's why he didn't want to be on the episode today.
That's an option. You could do that.
You just drop out when you don't hit your
It's
checkpoint.
like, sorry. Nope.
To be
I made
fair, he apparently his daughter Gracie was playing and overwrote his save file. So that set him back quite a while. And this is why I will never have kids. Just one more reason to add to the list.
Well, that's a good reason why he missed it and everything. It's not because like me who just failed to plan. So yeah, I say we give him a pass on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, no, I
No,
don't think
okay,
so.
that's fine.
It's
Got
still
to know.
strike.
We only have like a few, I think, like maybe 3 more sections anyway. We're supposed to finish like mid-January, I think. So
I feel like we're going through
um,
this like really fast,
it's a
but
kind of a short game.
yeah, that's fine.
So Rich, in general, what did you like just think about this section of the game or the club or whatever?
The cult stuff was weird, like, and then the ending was just kind of the ending of the Route A. I
It did
don't
seem
know,
to
like,
come to like a sudden ending. I would
yeah,
agree with you.
I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer. I didn't get to see much about Adam and Eve, and then all of a sudden that happened. I don't really say the ending too much on it, but
Spoilers are free
yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah,
freaking okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're fighting. I think it's Adam.
yeah. I think it was Adam.
No,
Adam.
no. Eve.
Was it Eve?
is
Eve?
Oh,
supposed
it was
to be in
Eve.
Yeah,
I have
Eve was the
trouble
little
telling them
brother.
apart.
Yeah, that's
Adam is the
So-
long-haired one that went hipster.
Adam
before
has
he
long
died.
hair. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So fighting Eve and stuff through all that, and all of a sudden him like turning dark. All of a sudden, like he
Like started up his arm and
I think it was
Did
supposed
it
to
ex-
signify like corruption.
yeah.
Okay, that would make more sense. Then I don't think it even mentioned it, but all of a sudden you're doing the cult, and then you go back to the resistance camp is on fire, and then all of a sudden you've got Eve showing up, like going ballistic, and that's it.
Yep. So what about you, Corey? What did you think of this section?
I mean, overall, not just this section, but the game. This is something I would have never like picked up and just played on my own, just from like looking at it. But as we've started playing it, I'm really, really enjoying this game. I think, once you kind of grasp onto the idea of like there's going to be multiple endings, different routes, you're going to play different kind of things. It's a very weird take on a video game, but I think it works.
Yeah.
But overall, no, like walking out and seeing Eve being overtaken with corruption and going through that fight. I thought this fight with Eve was easier than the first fight we had with Adam and Eve.
I think so
Because
too.
I did a
This
lot.
one I didn't have any trouble with. The first one I struggled.
To be fair, I think that we are probably a little over level now, just because I did all the side quests.
Oh yeah, you did
and
a
I
shit ton of
think
side quests.
the when I did that was after the first fight.
What
with Adam and
level
Eve.
are you?
30 something, right?
Yeah,
Like
we're
mid-30s?
we're mid to high 30.
Yeah, which
I was 27, and I got my ass kicked a lot.
Oh,
I
that's why
ran
you
out
made
of-
that face when I said that.
Yeah, I ran out of healing items, restorative stuff in the middle of it. So I had to drop the difficulty down to easy and change it that way.
weak.
I know. Well, I was stuck. Like I had, and every time you respawn, you don't have those restorative stuff back. So
No,
I had to drop it down. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So once I was done with that, I kicked it back up to normal. But yeah, it was a challenging fight at first. But then once I did that, it was fine.
I've been like trying to be very diligent about picking up everything that I can find. And a lot of times
Yep.
you'll pick up items that they have no use other than just to sell them. And a lot of them are, 5, 10, 15 grand a piece. So
Yeah.
I've been really good about getting a bunch of money, and then I'll go and buy like a shit ton of healing items. Like I'll try to keep 50 of each on hand because I've got the chip that's the auto heal. Yeah, so I put that chip in, keep all the recovery items, so I don't have to recover anymore. The game does it for me automatically, as long as I
Nice.
have healing items. So
I sold a bunch of stuff because I forgot that I picked up a lot of machine cores, and you can sell those. I ended up selling like $250,000 worth of stuff,
Jesus.
and I got an achievement for that.
Oh, really?
A little trophy, yeah. You saw to have that much in your bank, and then I went and bought 99 of every healing item.
Nice.
So
I
I'm
think the
stocked.
highest amount I've sold like at one time was, I want to say it was like 120G.
I don't know how I got those things. It just said 13. It's like these are worth 15,000 a piece. I'm like, holy crap.
Well, you pick up so many items at a time, especially like when you beat like a machine. You pick up so many that the detail scrolls by so quick you miss it.
That's true.
And it's really small. Like the items you pick up, it's like that tiny little dialogue right above your mini map. I wish they would have done a little better job with that because you never know what you're picking up.
Yeah, but I mean, I like it. And it's interesting game. When you start Route B, and there's a dialogue between Adam and Eve about wearing underpants.
Yeah, that was that was kind of weird. Like, why do I have to wear underwear?
I'm with Eve on that one.
I was like,
yeah,
this game's going to take a turn.
Yeah, and it's like we do this because of, we can't expose ourselves. It's not right.
Trying to be more like humans.
Huh.
I was really surprised when you start Route B and you're playing as 9S. I didn't see that coming.
I'd been spoiled on that somehow. So
Really?
I knew that was coming. But,
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool thing. But the only thing about that is I do think this Route B has been kind of dry so far, just because we are basically seeing the same exact thing, just controlling another character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm flying past everything.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not
it has
really
been gone
wasting time.
past.
But it's good.
So what do you guys think of those two, the boss that's just like the round ball machine that like rolls back and forth? You had to like fight two different versions of that.
Oh, I thought that was easy.
I mean, yeah, I don't think he ever killed me or anything, and I don't think I really had a whole lot of trouble. It took me a minute to realize that you had to because he would just sit there and like spin if you didn't walk up to him. He would just sit there. So to do damage, he has to be moving. So it took me a minute to realize, oh shit, I've got to actually get this guy to roll so I can do some damage.
Yeah. And then what about ending A itself? Just the ending, I guess.
Oh, when they like lost their masks and like
Yeah, they
powered
lose their
down.
masks, and it looks like 9S is going to die, and 2B goes into like she has a breakdown, basically, like crying, full on crying and all that.
That was sad.
Yeah.
And it turns out that 9S was able to like fragment himself into the machine corpses nearby.
And then he's all back to normal. Well, sort of. He's now a giant robot. So I wonder how that's going to play out with these other
Right.
routes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody get the feel the music sounds like Final Fantasy 13?
I could see that. I
Okay.
think it definitely has like its own like unique style, but
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see. For all we know, it could be one of the same composers, but
But the music's really good overall.
Yeah.
one of the best video game soundtracks, I would say, that I've
Yeah,
heard.
it's
anyway.
a really good soundtrack.
I thought it was really cool too, the ending itself. But the only complaint I might have is like I don't think 2B's emotional breakdown was built up to enough. I won't
No.
say it was like 0 to 100 because you could clearly tell when 9S went missing that she like really cared about finding him and saving him and all that, and getting mad when I think at one point the pod suggests like abandoning him, and she's like, "No, damn it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that could have been handled a little bit better, but I thought it was a mostly effective scene. Just getting to see her being so stoic, and then
Well, like even
finally-
at the beginning, she keeps like repeating to 9S, like, emotion is not allowed. And
right.
she
Then she
eventually
has emotions.
yeah, and then out of nowhere, she actually finds herself attached to 9S and realizes that there's something there.
Yeah.
Weird.
I also thought that the factory part was pretty cool. Like just how, yes, all the machines went like corrupt or whatever, but like not all of them. So there were like the machines that were still good or whatever were like crying and like they're really scared of what was happening. And at the end, they like all throw themselves into the lava. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I
It's a
realized
little
that a little
dark.
too late. I was just going in there whooping ass to any robot.
Right.
I was like, oops,
course.
these are actually like good guys.
Corey's like, fuck your feelings.
Pretty much.
Right. He does the same thing to me. So,
Yeah. Well,
so what about like actually playing as 9S? So
the
the main
hacking
difference, I
stuff's
guess, is
weird.
just the hacking.
Yeah, the hacking's weird. It's weird to get used to.
Yeah, I've been finding it really difficult personally. I think it's cool, and I like how the music changes to like an 8-bit version of whatever the soundtrack is playing right then. But
I'm getting better at it, but it's definitely not very intuitive. Like there's a learning curve.
I was in the Discord the other day, and I found out that there's a lock-on button, and you can use the right stick to aim, which I was not doing at all when I was playing.
Way to
I
go.
was just flying in circles and trying to like angle just the perfect way to where I would actually hit whatever I was shooting at. But I am interested knowing that Route B is just like the same story from 9S's perspective. I'm interested to see like, okay, so what is Route C going to be then? And that's still not until the section after this, but like
Route C,
guess-
you play as Pascal the whole time.
I do think it's probably going to bring in that other android, like A2.
Oh,
A2.
A2.
So.
Yeah. I was surprised we didn't find out more about her in Route A. So
I'm sure we will.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, and at the beginning of Route B, that little part where you have to play as the machine trying to like bring oil to its brother.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that was kind of
Corey, why did we
cute.
have to do that 3 times? I don't remember. Oh,
We
one
had
was
to do it-
because of a joke ending, but
yeah. We did joke ending, but we had to do that a lot for some reason. It's
Huh.
like whatever happens right after. Do you remember what the scene is like once you bring the oil over? Don't
know
you
it
get into
goes
a
to-
battle like right after or
it
something?
goes to 9. Oh, I
Oh,
remember. It
no,
goes
it
to
get-
9S,
shit.
and then you get the secret ending right there. But then you went and got the secret ending again on accident. So,
Yeah, because like you had to take the right turn because you're up on this like factory like scaffolding, and you can
Uh-huh.
walk straight, you can go right, you can go left. Well, you're supposed to go left apparently. Well, I went straight and then I went right. I like tried every wrong avenue first.
That's what I did. So that was a secret ending. I was wondering why
Yeah.
it shut off all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah. If you walk
Huh.
straight or if you walk right, it's a secret ending. So to continue, you had to go left. I think,
Oh, that's odd.
but I did that
okay.
multiple times.
right. So overall, I would say it was a fun section, very climactic. The Route B is kind of slow so far, but I'm sure it's about to pick up, just like
Yeah.
Route A did around here.
Absolutely.
I am a little remorse that another wave of side quests is coming up. I was going to go ahead and do them, but fast travel is not available at this point in the story. So it's like, damn it, I got to wait.
Yeah, and I ain't doing no side quests.
Yeah. Oh, well. But we do have some listener feedback here. Frost, or Strap, or whatever he goes by these days, he left us a little bit of a chunk here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Said, with the addition of hacking, the game has gone full Blaster Master. Mechanically, this game does a bunch of stuff okay and nothing great. I don't agree with that. Fucking Noctis, Ray Chase, can't escape your emo BS even in other games. Does he play 9S?
I don't think so.
Who does Ray
clue.
Chase play?
I'll find out.
All right. This is the edgiest Kingdom Hearts game ever. Whoever wrote this must be really into weird shit. Well, we know that Yoko Taro is. I'm surprised that 2B wasn't sodomized by a robo tentacle at some point. I did make the comment that I'm surprised that the game has not gotten weirder than it has based on what I'd heard before playing it.
Agreed.
Commentary, the game is okay. I'm pretty confident I've identified my main gripe with the game. I just don't care about 2B, 9S, or anyone in this game. My issue is that it seems like 2B goes from 0 to 100 on the emotion scale in the last 10 minutes of Route A. There's no build-up, it's just robot, 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 complete palette of human emotions.
I could see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Strap is actually in the chat right now. He jumped in to see his feedback, I guess.
Hey.
Because there's no build up, it's just robot, 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 complete palette of human emotions. It's like there's a huge section of the story missing. I actually kind of agree with him there. I feel like I said, the build up was not as complete as it should have been.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that.
So either this is poorly done or this is the slowest burn in gaming history, as I am 22 hours in and I have no real feel for the characters. Kai says there are, quote, optional side quests that really shouldn't be optional. I will say a few of the side quests have been, this is me talking, have been interesting story-wise and effective, like the Wandering Couple. I like how a lot of them have, like, twist endings, kind of. He says, people rave about the story, but I just don't see it to this point. Most side quests are boring fetch quests. The character development is non-existent. Honestly, I haven't found it very much fun to play. But I also didn't like FF15, and this is very similar in style. Reasons for optimism. Having listened to the end theme, quote, The Weight of the World, a bunch of times, if you look at the lyrics, there has to be more to this story, and therefore I'm still optimistic. But as of now, everything feels no off. Burning questions. Who thought that high heels on these androids were a good idea? Yoko Taro, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't seem practical for running or combat. Oh, we can go talk to Bayonetta about that. Oh, she has guns in her heels. I just remembered.
Yeah,
So,
those are practical.
there you go.
Very useful.
Who thought it was a good idea to make me hold R1 for the whole fucking game? I can actually kind of see that complaint, to always be firing.
Into because I am holding R1 for a majority of the game.
Yeah. Why can't I just program the pod to fire? Yes, I know that's an option in easy mode. And lastly, I know that he hates Adam and Eve, the characters, as villains, which they are kind of weird and kind of uninspiring.
Well,
But-
also that's
yeah.
apparently he said Ray Chase plays Eve.
Yep, I was gonna say the same thing. I just found out.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
That's really cool, actually.
You
So
find
yeah,
it cool. He does not.
I think Frost is definitely like the most negative out of the people that are following along with the community, but I actually do think a lot of his complaints are legitimate.
Oh, they're valid. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I will say that overall, I'm still like really loving the game. So to each their own. I'll let you
Yes.
take the next one.
Okay, Tales of Rob.
ROB.
The fact ROB. I'd say Rob, whatever. ROB.
I would have said
That
Rob.
factory cult is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in a video game, and love it. I agree with that. The game as a whole is great. Music remains amazing. The game is awesome. Though I prefer the more intense hack and slash Route A than Route B hacking. But the hacking was a nice break, interesting way to do combat. Still have a hunch where the story is going to go, but so far it has me hooked as to what's going on. I don't know what's going on, so
I agree with the preferring the combat of Route A over Route B.
yep.
Yeah, I think that the even though the hacking is kind of fun and unique, I think once we get that trophy for like hack 100 enemies or whatever it is, I'm probably gonna stop using it more unless it's like a boss or something.
I think I got that already.
And by the way, welcome to the chat, Kazlo. Glad you have decided to join us. But yeah, I'll let you take the last comment there, Corey.
So Kylie says, my thoughts on the current section haven't really changed much from the previous sections, but here's something extra. I love 9S, and I love the hacking minigame. It becomes a tool of war really quickly as you realize that is how you handle bases and bigger enemies much faster than 2B could ever think of. On top of that, there are also really neat side quests tied only into the system, like in the under the carnival section to do. Thus concludes my thoughts. So
yeah, I know Kai is really into this game. Like,
yeah,
he's like,
and Kai is apparently feels there is some character development there. Kai's loving 9S, you know.
Nice.
yeah,
And he makes a good point about the hacking, because with 2B you just have to grind and like wear them down, whereas hacking, like in the amusement park when you get into that boss fight with the robot that has all the like dead androids on it, with 2B it was just wear it down, but with 9S you hacked into it and I killed it in no time.
Yeah,
you
it's
do
pretty
a
fast
shit
ton of
with that
damage.
stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Kazlo says the carnival in Route B he thought was better because there was more story for the boss. Yeah, that was their whole backstory about how the machine wanted to become more beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Cringy.
Yeah, right. But yeah, like I said, still enjoying the game, and we've got plenty more to come. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Any final overall thoughts about this section, fellas?
No.
No, I'm really liking it though.
Yep. So no tea time with Bill today. There was no shocker there. He like never does it anymore. And then so the next point is by December 20th to go ahead and finish Route B. Get those credits, people. And then after that, we'll start Route C. So that'll be interesting to look forward to. But I hereby call this convening of the RPG Club to a close. I searched NieR Automata remixes this morning and stumbled onto that. And I was like, holy fuck, I like that.
That's nice.
So with the club dismissed, we're going to wrap things up here. Rich, what's up next week?
So next week we are going to talk about the Game Awards plus early thoughts on Cyberpunk, because I know Jay is like foaming at the mouth about it.
Yeah, I'm itching to get this game.
He's driving himself into a frenzy.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Game Awards will be on December 10th, so we'll know the results by the next episode, and we'll go over what happened and announce the winner of the betting pool thing that we're doing. So go check out the Discord if you want in on that or need the link or whatever. Just want to thank David or Dizzy one more time for being here. I know he's not here with us anymore, but look him up on Twitch at Dizzydlo, and he's also on Twitter.
Yes,
But away from him, let's talk about us.
Yeah. Enough about that guy, that awesome guy. So you can rate and review us on any of your podcasting services, Apple, iTunes, Google, Spotify. I think Amazon has an ability there. So rate and review us, give us some good feedback. Let us know what you think.
Please do. Helps the show a lot with the algorithms and shit.
Math.
Perhaps an even better way to help out the show is Patreon. Like Corey went over earlier, you get early episode access, ad-free episodes, episodes of the Aftercast, extra reviews, RPG Club nominations, and more, like annual gifts. And you can find that over at patreon.com/RPGafteryears.
Nice. And like we talked about Twitch earlier, you can find the show streaming every Sunday, usually at 9 a.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/RPG
And while they're streaming live, you'll probably see these guys wearing some of their own merch, and you can find that merch store at Redbubble. It's a little bit of mouthful, so get ready. It's redbubble.com/people/RPGafteryears/explore. If you don't put the explore in there, it gives you a very weird, very basic web page. So go check it out.
It shows what they think your top 5 products are for some reason, instead of just what designs are available and then letting you choose the product, which is just weird.
Yeah.
If you want to get in touch with the show, you want to send us feedback or questions or whatever, you can do that by emailing us. It's rpgafteryears@gmail.com.
And Discord, you could find the link in the show notes. You can come join the conversations. It's still a lot of people in there communicating. We talked a lot about community, so definitely come see us at Discord. We tweet that over there. It's also pinned in our Twitter feedback.
Absolutely. And before I forget, just keep in mind there is that betting pool for the Game Awards to go do, and we will be doing a live stream for that when it's airing live. And then also we'll be doing a Secret Santa, so that'll be fun. So perhaps the best way to get in touch with us, you can find the show on Twitter at RPGYears, and you can find me at the Scott Spot.
You find me at HailBlue1569.
And me at VFL Corey.
And if you want to find David, he's at Dizzy_Dlo. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week. And thanks once again to my bud, Dizzy. We hope you'll join us next week for our post show on the Game Awards and some early Cyberpunk impressions in episode 44. But until then, I'm Scott.
And I'm Rich.
And I'm Corey.
Catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.